the next time you hear yourself giving another excuse, especially the excuses that sound so logical, they sound so good, but you know deep down that they are excuses. You know deep down that if you want it badly enough, you will actually sit up and do what you need to do. This thing is a terrible disease. I call it excusitis. It is a problem.
Here is something you need to hear. You're not lazy. You're just misaligned. I'm Kepo. I help high performers get unstuck by taking bold, aligned action. And this is Grow With Kepo, where we speak with influential trailblazers who've made their mark and found the clarity that changed their lives. This is where we get clear, realign, and move toward a life that actually feels like yours. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Today, I'm going to be challenging the purpose behind your dreams and your goals. And I'm going to be asking you a very hard question, which is, how bad do you want it? No, for real, how bad do you want it? I'm going to tell you a quick story. So the company I worked at some point, the way they do their own hiring is through aptitude tests first. The interview is the final stage, and they don't even look at your resume until it's time for your interview. You've gone through so many different stages by that time. You do an aptitude test, and they have a certain mark that they want you to get to before they would even talk to you. Then after that, you do some kind of real work assessment. So basically something that mimics the kind of work that you'll be doing. They grade you on that. You might have to do some other skills tests. And then and only then, if you pass those stages, that is when you can actually be invited to have an interview. And that is the point where the hiring manager will even okay, let me even look at this person's resume, right? Okay, great. The perks of this job was that you're hired as a contractor, so they pay you all your money and you sort out your taxes, right? However, you should. And they hire from all over the world. And for the most part, you can actually determine your own schedule. You work remotely 100% of the time. In this day and age, that is a dream job. And you don't work more than 40 hours a week, right? You work the 40 hours, you get your pay. You work less than 40 hours, you get what you worked for. Simple. So there was a time that when I worked there, people would come to me like, okay, but how do I get it? And I'm thinking, I wish I had someone to talk to when I was trying to get in, but okay. I take it as maybe that is part of why God put me here, maybe, so I can help other people. They're like, oh man, I really like this, your job. And I tell them about all the perks. I also tell them about the things I don't like about it. And they're like, no, this is awesome. Like, I want to do this. I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'll give you tips. I'll teach you how you can practice for the tests and all of that so that you pass. And I noticed something. I noticed that if 10 people came to me and said, oh, tell me, I really want this. I'm so sick of my job. Like, I have to commute all the time. They don't pay me well. Like, oh my gosh, this pay is amazing. Oh man, I want to earn this much too. Okay. Out of those 10 people, maybe 2 people will actually follow through. Because by the time I outlined to them, okay, these are the things that you need to do. Basically all the things that I told you earlier. I lose most of them at the very first stage, the aptitude test. They'll say, some of them don't even try. They will actually say something like, I'm not a good test taker. I'm like, you haven't even taken the test. You've already failed yourself. And some of them will say, okay, I'll do it, but I don't know if I can actually do it. I'm like, okay, so you're already starting with a defeater's mindset. Okay, great. And then for some of them, I'll say, okay, you know what? I'll send you links of sample tests that you can use to practice. And these are not quite the tests, but they're very close in mimicking how they force you to think. Okay, yeah, send it. Okay. A week later, hey, how did you get on? Oh, like I've just not really had time, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Then yes, there are a handful of people that maybe they'll actually do it, but is kind of like a half attempt. And this area is the one I want to quickly drill down into. Sometimes you do these things for people, you try to help them because they come to you, right? Or maybe you make a referral for them at your company or whatever, and it really suits them. You know that they will do really well, or you know that if they just put their mind to this test and practice, they will do very well and they will get through the hardest part. And then when they do it, but they do it with a half attempt. And it's almost like, okay, I know I have been complaining to this person that I want to change this job, that I want to change this particular area of my life. And now they're presenting me an opportunity to do that. So that means that I don't have any excuse. I actually need to do something. And so then they just like, okay, let me just do something so that it won't be like I'm just complaining and I'm not actually doing anything about it. That is a peeve of mine. But we'll come back to that one later. But then there's now like the remaining 2 that finally follow through. So for those other 8 people, are you telling me that they are actually happy in their miserable lives where they hate their jobs and they actually want to change it? No, they're not happy, but they don't want it that badly. They prefer their current pain to whatever pain they've imagined they have to go through to get this other job. And that's the thing with change, or the thing with taking any kind of massive action or staying focused. At some point, if you're someone who is motivated by pain, the pain of where you are needs to become greater than the pain that you associate with getting to where you want to go for you to finally take action. For some people, they are not motivated by pain. They are motivated by positive outlook. And so they will say, oh my gosh, my life could be XYZ. Like, I can work remote. I can earn this much. And that right there is their own motivation. What is your motivation? What is going to make you stick to something and finally follow it through, no matter how tough the going gets? How bad do you want it?
Hey, quick break. I want to invite you to something powerful. If you're a high-achieving professional who feels burnt out, stuck, or like you've checked all the boxes but still feel unfulfilled, I've been there. That's why I offer free strategy sessions to help you reconnect with purpose and get clear on your next bold move. I would love to support you. Just hit the link in the description to book your call. Now, back to the episode.
A lot of times when we don't take action and we are stuck, or we act like we don't want it badly enough, it's because we fear 3 types of pain. Loss pain. You're afraid of what you might lose, the friends you might lose, the time you might lose, the money you might lose, because you're doing that thing. Or in the short term, let's say you have a fun vacation coming up and you have to sacrifice one of those days for an interview or something. I don't know. I'm just making this up. The loss of that day that you've planned, you've imagined it in your head and all of that, the loss of that. What if you turn it around and you're like, what could I actually gain if I did this? What is the positive outcome here? What is the upside of doing this? In the case of those 8 people I talked about, if they had changed their minds to, oh my goodness, like what if I actually got this job? What is the upside of this? What do I stand to gain? Oh, a lot. Number 2, process pain. You're thinking about how painful the process of change is going to be. Or in the case of those 8 people, the process of studying for those tests and sitting down through those painful tests. You're thinking of that short-term thing. And it's all short-term thinking. You're not thinking long-term. If you're thinking of the long-term benefits, then those will far outweigh the short-term costs. In anything that you're going to do in this life, there will be the tough parts. It's up to you to bring joy into the joyless things. And that's what high performance is about. That is what I am about. That is what I help my clients with. Just helping them to stick to it. It's changing that narrative in your head. The process doesn't need to be it might not even be as painful as you think, but how would you know unless you tried? You could try it and you could bring your own type of fun into it. You could make it easier on yourself. You don't have to do it the way everybody else has been doing it. If there is a better way to do it, right? And if it's something that, again, when you go back to the very first one, if you're thinking about the upside, what could you gain? Then maybe you might not mind going through that process after all. The third pain is outcome pain. And this one is very popular, or very common, I should say. A lot of times people are thinking, what if it all goes wrong? What if I look stupid in front of everybody? What if I make a fool of myself? What if someone comes and calls me out and basically challenges what I say, and they actually have data to prove it, and then I look dumb? What if I am wrong? What if this all just goes to nothing and it all comes crashing down on me? What if? We start catastrophizing in our minds. But what if it went well? What if you succeeded? What if you learned something about yourself in the process? What if anything we want to do, if you're going to be successful and you're going to follow through, it comes down to changing the meaning we attach to things. If you're really serious and you want it that badly, then you will need to change how you think about what you might gain, what the process will be like, and what the outcome could be like. So I'm going to ask you this again. How bad do you want it? Sometimes we are so easy to just drop the sword. Oh, no, not drop the sword, but throw in the towel. We are so quick to give in and give up. Why? I guess you don't want it that badly. Let me give you examples. Oh, my head hurts. You know what? I'm just going to rest my head for the rest of the day. I'll pick this back up tomorrow. Please, I've really had quite the week. I know I didn't do anything towards that particular goal to advance that big goal of my life, but man, life is for the living. YOLO, man. I'm just going to rest this weekend. Netflix and chill. Let me get a drink. I need a drink in my system. Let me go hang out. Let me order takeout. Open up Uber Eats app. Let me see where we're hanging out this weekend with my friends. I'll pick this thing back up next week or next month. Or if it's November, you know what? That'll be my New Year's resolution. You don't want it that badly. In fact, this is how you know that you want something badly. Let's say you change your mind about, I'm going to use this weight loss one because it's such a common one, right? Or some kind of health and fitness goal. And you're like, you know what? Going forward, I'm going to start taking my workouts more seriously. I'm going to be more consistent with taking walks outside. Let's do with that one. Walks. Everyone can walk. Well, if you can walk, you can walk. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start doing more steps every day. Okay, but today is Tuesday. Okay, I'll start on Monday. Why? Why not start on Tuesday? Or latest Wednesday, maybe because it's Tuesday evening. What's wrong with starting immediately? When you want to start immediately, that's when you know that, okay, this change is coming from a place of conviction versus from a place of just forcing it. You're just forcing the issue. You haven't tied it to why you really want it and to how badly you want it. I hope this is making sense for you, or it makes sense to me. Maybe I'm just talking to myself today. But sometimes I have to ask myself, okay, but how bad do you want it? Oh, you have cramps. Oh, poor you. Get a hot water bottle. Put it on your tummy. Maybe change how you're sitting. Sit on the couch instead of on this chair. Get comfortable. Or keep going. Oh, I've not eaten all day. I'm so tired. You know what? I'll do it tomorrow. How bad do you want it? I'll do it next week. Why? Even for me, when I'm networking with my contacts, like, hey, I'm offering this free strategy session. I'm offering this kind of high performance coaching. I help former management consultants or professionals that feel burnt out or feel stuck in their current jobs and they don't really know what to do next with themselves. And I help them gain clarity and alignment and make decisions. If I keep procrastinating on that, on telling people about that and asking them, hey, do you know anyone who might need this? Do you know anyone who might need this? Or does it sound like you? I'm never going to get any clients. And then at some point I'll ask myself, well, Kepo, how bad do you want it? Maybe you don't want it that badly. Maybe you just want to say, oh, look at me. I'm a coach. Don't nobody care. Take action or you don't want it that badly. It's that simple. I said in one of my recent episodes that if you don't want something, if you find that you're not taking action towards that thing, then raise your standards and take action. And I'm referring to episode 5, where I talked about why habits don't stick. Raise your standards. Or if this speaks better to you, drop your standards. Lower your standards for yourself and just accept that, okay, you know what? In this area, this is the best I can do. I'm not going to fight it anymore. I'm going to go to another area of life and I'm going to pick up a goal there and focus on that one. That's okay. You've been wanting to write a book for 15 years and you've done nothing about it. Maybe it's time to let that dream go. How bad do you want it? Is it tied to who you really are? To your why, to your purpose? If it's not tied to that and it's just tied to something like, oh, I just want to make more money. There's even a reason why you want to make more money. Of which I need to talk about that whole I want to make more money. You know what? Conversation for another day. There is a reason why. And if you don't know where to start from in setting that reason why, go to my last episode where I talk about identity. I think that is something that everyone needs to hear. You need to understand why you are doing something and connect it to that. If not, you won't actually get anywhere. I don't care how many habits you stack. I don't care how many to-dos you write down. I don't care how many planners you use. Cold plunges, sauna, breathing, all of that stuff. If it's not connected to your why, then you're not going to get it done. And then we'll be back here and I'm going to be asking, well, how bad do you want it? Maybe you don't want it that badly. I told you at the beginning of this show that I was going to ask this question quite often. So if you're tired of hearing it, that's okay. But have you answered the question to yourself? I want it this badly. I want it because... And then when you answer that, why do you want that? I want to do this particular line of business because it lights me up. Oh, why do you want to do something that lights you up? because that is the kind of work I can sustain for a long time. And if I can sustain it for a long time, then it can be my source of income. And then work won't feel like work. Oh, why is that important for you, for work to not feel like work? Well, because in the past, I've started and stopped, and I've not really excelled at anything. And I'm getting on in life. At some point, I need to have a good personal financial portfolio. Well, why is that important to you? Because I don't want to work for the rest of my life. I want to retire at a certain age. In fact, I'm already late as it is. I should have started this a long time ago. Oh, okay. Why is it important for you to be able to retire? Because I want to have time to do other things. Oh yeah, like what? So that's what I mean by how bad do you want it? If this thing is just a frivolous dream, stop torturing yourself and let it go. Pick something else that will drive you to action. That will drive you to action even when you don't feel like it. That will drive you to action even when everything around you is saying no. But you know you have to keep going. You know that you haven't actually seen it through to the end and you haven't done everything. I love it when people say, oh, I've tried everything. Oh, really? Show me the list. Okay, yeah. So I spoke to my sister about it, and then I also read this book. Oh, and that's everything? Are you sure you tried everything? Oh, well, maybe I haven't tried everything. Well, there you go. The next time you feel yourself slacking, the next time you hear yourself giving another excuse, oof. You know what? I need to quickly expand on the excuse part, especially the excuses that sound so logical. They sound so good, but you know deep down that they are excuses. You know deep down that if you want it badly enough, you will actually sit up and do what you need to do. Excuses. This thing is a terrible disease. I call it excusitis. It is a problem. It's not a pandemic. Endemic? Is that what they call it? It is a problem. Excuses. Even I have to tell my coach, and yes, I have a coach. My coach has a coach. I believe in coaching because they help you see your blind spots and they help you operationalize your aha moments. That's what I do for my clients. And I told my coaches, I was like, oof. I told her from the beginning, I said, I'm really good at making excuses. Like, really good at making excuses. I can do a TED talk on excuses. Like, I can just riff and you will believe me, high sounding. Like, oh my gosh. You know what, Kepo? You deserve to sit down, put your feet up and do nothing. Because you're right. This is tough. You're right. You need a break. You're right. You can pick it up next week. It's nonsense. Yes, I'm telling you, it's nonsense. I am not saying that you shouldn't rest. I am not saying that you shouldn't play. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pace yourself. I do all of those things. In fact, I'm even at the time of recording this, one of the things I'm working on is just learning to space out my days. I tend to pack too much into my days and I don't give myself enough breaks in between. And what that will do sometimes is by Thursday, I'm feeling so tired, right? By Friday evening, I'm just like, I'm so spent. Saturday morning, forget it. I have to draw from my reserves to actually get anything done. But I've changed that. But I know that there's still room for improvement, right? I need to pace myself. I need to re-energize throughout the day so that I can sustain my energy levels throughout the day and throughout the week. I am not saying don't do any of that. I'm just saying, you know when you're making excuses. So again, How bad do you want it? I hope you guys enjoyed this show today. I did. I enjoyed preaching to myself today. And I hope to see you on the next one. I'm going to have a guest on the next one. And it's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Grow with Kepo. If this episode sparked something for you, subscribe, share it with a friend, and keep growing.